Might I see that piece of evidence? I'm going to lick it. No! James! Someone stop him! The bailiffs! Well, that solves that, I suppose. Hello everyone! Barrio Pokebop here, or as I'm assuming the majority of the audience knows me as, Emerin Artist. Yep, it's me, Emerin, from Tumblr. And recently, I streamed the recently released ghost trial for our beloved Arsblog. And this is the highlights video. My thoughts on the case as a whole and the fallout of the case will be a separate video entirely. Mostly because this, at the moment of scripting, is over an hour long. And the stream was only 2 hours. What the fuck? Also, the mod of the blog wants to give some input on their progress on making the case, and I really want to share that with everyone. Ghost Anon also has given some input in the comment section of the full stream, so I want that to be a separate video. And the fallout of the case? Well, let's just say the blog is a bit of a mess right now.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Wait, you don't know what the Ask blog is? Quick summary! The Ask blog is a place where we can ask the characters from the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles questions, and it's like a community roleplay. Because of this, multiple plot lines have surfaced. The moderator gave an Anon Asker a summary of these plot events, so I'll do that too, but only for the things relevant to this case. First off, Ryunosuke and Susato are visiting from Japan. The blog started a year after the events of the second game, however was slowly creeping into the second canonical year in the plotline. Kazuma and Ryunosuke are dating, and Ryunosuke is also trans because that is the best headcanon ever. Fucking deal with it. Iris is aware of who her blood family is and has come to terms with it all. Speaking of her blood family, that's where a longtime asker and fellow troublemaker, Ghost Anon, comes in, who kickstarted this ghost plotline. Basically, the ghosts of Clint, Genshin, Lady Baskerville, named Laura, and Balmung, yes the fucking dog, are able to communicate and interact with the cast, and can do ghostly things such as possession, you know, the usual. Clint and Barrack have made peace. Genshin and Kazuma, not so much. Cyclops are also a separate plotline in and of itself here. Barrack has 5 black Cyclops, while Kazuma has 5 regular ones, but it's hinted he has more. Clint also has black Cyclops, one of which Kazuma accidentally broke, causing Clint to go into a dissociative fugue. No, I'm not kidding, I helped with that plot point and Barrack almost hit Kazuma. It was an angst-filled mess. There is also an asker named Gramier. Gramier? I have never actually said their name out loud before. There is also an asker named Gramier Anon, who takes on the role as the Gramier siblings, usually Trucy, and sends asks to the cast. Recently, Trucy and Athena were sent back in time, so they appear in this case. Don't question why, just allow it to happen. Oh, and Kazuma probably most likely deeply hates himself. Just throwing that out there. Alright, got all that? Great, because this video is already long enough. Timestamps for particular points of the trial will be in the description and the pinned comment below. A quick thank you to our dear moderator for creating this amazing case. And, without further ado, all rise for the adventure of the Prosecutor's soul. Please, even you're unhappy about this, Lord Van Zeeks. Councils, do you have any final objections? If not, I am prepared to make a ruling. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objections at this time. No, Ugh! No, Narudi, you have to think of something! I'm so sorry, Susato-san. The defense... Seems I've arrived at just the right time. I don't want to do this, I promise. But I can't let this happen. Huh? The defense demands that this trial continue. Huh? What? What are you playing at, counsel? The prosecution's case is filled with nothing but holes. Mr. Naruhodo, what are you doing? By the way, this piece of music that we're listening to right now, created by the moderator, and it's fantastic. All I ask for is another 10 minutes of the court's time. If I cannot prove there is more to this trial within that time, by all means, announce a verdict. But if I am able to do so, this trial must go on. Do you not agree, my learned friend? You... Mr. Van Zieks? My lord, I would like to request a short recess in order to re-evaluate the case. Whatever the defense has in mind, I'm sure it would at least be more than enjoyable to watch it fall apart. What more could you possibly have to say, counsel? As I said, 10 minutes is all I ask to prove my assertion. Then I will call for a 5-minute recess. I hope for your client's sake that you know what you're doing, counsel. This court is now adjourned. August 30th, 11:37 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Narudi, what happened there? What did you realize? I'm not actually Mr. Naruhodo. Aww. Clint. It's good to see you, brother. Oh! Oh, the sprite kills me! Are you alright? I'm fine. We can talk later. I promise. Oh, so you're Mr. Clint Van Zieks. The name's Trucy Wright, magician extraordinaire. Did you possess Narudi or something? Yes, he did, and I feel very violated. Papa! Iris! Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Are you okay? I'm fine, I promise you. Oh, hello, Susato. Clint Van Zieks! I know you're trying to help, but you shouldn't have taken over Mr. Naruhodo's body to do it. I'm inclined to agree. I apologize, but if I hadn't intervened, all that would be happening was a gavel slam and a guilty sentence. That isn't the point. Come on! We only have a few minutes of recess. Why did you possess Narudi? Right. I couldn't abide letting you come to the wrong verdict like this. Miss Mikatoba is innocent, and I intend to prove it. While I believe it entirely, there is no evidence to suggest it. Mr. Naruhodo is a brilliant defense attorney, and the accused is his assistant. If even he cannot prove your innocence, what chance do you have? He kinda has a point, Mr. Van Zieks. Are you even sure you should be doing this? When did you regain your memory? Oh yeah, Clint lost his memory, by the way. Only a minute or so before I interrupted proceedings. What the fuck? So, were you here? Like, okay, I don't know how, I can't remember how ghosts travel in this plot line. Sorry about that. But I'm confident I know what I'm doing. And really, I'm alright, Barrick. I'm not suffering any after effects. Aside from having difficulty remembering the past day or two. Do you even know anything about the case? Apologies, do I know you? Ah, well, we've met. I apologize for being unable to remember you. All my memories are in something of a haze at the moment. So, you don't know anything about the case at all, do you? But that's okay. CC, if you don't mind, could I take over as co-counsel? I'd prefer that. No offense to you, Miss Wright, but you are a stranger to me. No, I get it. Good luck. I'll just go sit in the gallery. Defense! Prosecution! The trial is about to resume. You'll be fine, Miss Mikatoba, I promise you. Just don't do any leg-related disc slamming in my body! I wouldn't dream of it. I fear I'd break your leg. Mr. Naruhodo, what is this in your pocket? Oh, it's just a photograph. Look at this photograph! I can't wait to say that. Mr. Sholmes likes to have mementos, but I ended up with it. I sort of forgot it was there. It's a sweet photograph. I don't think I've ever seen Kazuma smiling like that. Like what? So genuinely. Clint? Later, Barrick. I promise we'll talk about everything. But right now, we have more pressing matters. Good luck. And thank you. The trial of Susato Mikatoba is now back in session. Counsel for the defense, are you prepared to make your case for the continuation of this trial? That means you, Papa. Right! I have to remember that I'm the defense. Oh yeah, that's right, he has Kuruma. Forgot that. Yes, my lord, I'm ready to begin. Excellent. Counsel for the defense, your 10 minutes begins now. First, I think it prudent to establish the facts of this case once more. I will oblige you in that request. Thank you. Please be patient with me here. The victim was Prosecutor Kazuma Asogi, my apprentice. 2 days ago, he was poisoned at 221B Baker Street, the home of the famed detective Sherlock Holmes. Asogi is fortunately alive and in stable condition, but came close to asphyxiation. And what was the poison used? Roast chicken. Apologies, I must not have heard you correctly. No, you heard him right. Asogi suffers from asphyxiation upon ingesting chicken. That means he can't breathe, just to clarify. It has been classed as a poisoning for the sake of comprehensibility. Right, I remember that he's allergic. That still seems odd, though. If Mr. Asogi is so severely allergic, why would he ingest the chicken in the first place? Obviously, he was not aware of it at the time. This was established with the previous witness testimony. I would like to call that witness back to the stand. If you wish. Hello, Sherlock! Oh, great, it's the detective. Oh, I love Clinton. Her looks like, how would you describe it? They have never been married, but are nonetheless divorced. That's their friendship in a nutshell. It's fantastic. Quite a long face, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm not looking forward to cross-examining him again either. Trust me. Oh, that's pretty nice, Kay. Mr. Sholmes, I would like you to testify once more, with as much detail as possible. Counsel? I'm aware that this is repetitious, my lord. I have a point to make. I swear by it. Then you best get to it quickly. Well, I'll try not to slow you down. Mr. Sato had cooked a dinner for Mr. Asoki's birthday that night. Around 5 minutes into the meal, the doorbell rang. Mr. Asoki stood up and said that he would get it. He returned some 5 minutes later, saying there was only a salesman. Not long after that, he began to wheeze and fainted. I contacted the volunteer ambulance service, and we were outside for a time after it arrived. Then he was taken to the hospital. Nothing else was strange. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. There aren't any contradictions in his testimony. I was there! Oh, hush, Mr. Naruhodo. We can worry about contradictions later. We need information. And that I know how to get. For Mr. Asoki's dinner that night, birthday that night. Around 5 minutes into the meal, the doorbell rang. Mr. Asoki stood up and said he would get it. Returned some 5 minutes later, saying there was only a salesman. Press. I want to press that. 5 minutes in which he was entirely unaccounted for. Objection! That doesn't mean much of anything. I mean, it was only 5 minutes. A lot can happen in 5 minutes, Athena. You should know. Silence. Oh, shit. That 5 minutes can make all the difference. Objection! I agree. Only if you can prove that anything noteworthy happened. He was poisoned! If something happened, surely the detective would have said so. Unless it was something nobody in Baker Street could have noticed. Not long after that, he began to wheeze and fainted. Then he was taken to hospital. Nothing else was strange. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Did I not? Hi, we're back. So, how was that screen? If you guys aren't aware, actually, I'll just go through his testimony quickly for you guys. Because, yeah, so we already know all this. And if you aren't aware, we were given new information. I read it out to you guys. There wasn't anything interesting on screen. Well, actually, there was. But, we have to present the chicken, if I remember correctly. Present. Loading. I missed saying that. Mr. Sholmes, I find that hard to believe. Please look at this plate. Huh? Who in the deuce did this to one of my plates? You mean you didn't know it was stained? Of course not. I assure you I would have noticed a black stain on such a beautiful silver plate. Silver plate? Is that ringing familiar? Milan flamed. If I could kindly ask you not to leave me out of the conversation, counsels. Oh, Judge, I'm so sorry. Black stains such as this on a silver plate can be caused by a chemical reaction. Namely, a chemical reaction with arsenic. I believe I recall a time where that piece of information was relevant here in this courtroom. Indeed. Still, this is not conclusive evidence of arsenic. It is entirely possible that such a stain could have come by other means. But it has to be arsenic! It just has to be, or Miss Mikatoba is guilty! There is one other way I could think of to prove it. That I believe would be dangerous and evidence tampering. Oh, what am I doing? I shouldn't even have thought of that! Might I see that piece of evidence? I'm going to lick it. No! James! Someone stop him! The bailiffs! Well, that solves that, I suppose. Detective? How did it taste? Well, it isn't salted. In fact, the white powder tastes of absolutely nothing at all. Huh? Nothing. It tastes as white powder. Surely you can't deny it now. Your arsenic theory would fit the bill quite nicely. How do I, someone who studies this shit, not know what arsenic powder looks like? Oh, fuck me. Firstly, detective, never make such a mockery of this court again. You have my word. No, you don't. No, he doesn't. Secondly, what difference does the presence of arsenic make? You haven't really proved anything in terms of Miss Mikatoba's innocence. In fact, you've implicated her. Now it looks way more like she tried to kill him. No, I haven't implicated her at all. Barak Van Zeeks, Miss Sykes, I'm disappointed in the both of you. What? Brother, why? Brother? It isn't about the presence of the arsenic at all. It's about the presence of the stain. The stain? Consider this. If the arsenic had been on his plate since the beginning of the meal, why didn't anyone notice it blackening? Surely it would have been there long enough for the chemical reaction to... Was he given it? Wait, was he given it? Was he given it? Oh my god. That's a very good point, counsel. They could have only missed it because it wasn't there until the plate was taken into evidence. In addition, there's more. Why on earth would Miss Mikatoba use arsenic in the first place? It was on the basis that she knew of his near-fatal allergy that she was arrested. What use would poison be when the chicken itself would be enough? Maybe it was for the insurance? What? Well, she's seen him live through allergic reactions before. It could easily just be a way to make sure he died, right? No matter the timing of the chemical reaction, the arsenic is even more damning. Besides, it has been well established that Miss Mikatoba handled the food that night. If you have doubts, you can ask the young lady at your side if her story correlates with that of the detectives. Oh, dear God, you two! He's right, Papa. We all know it can't have been the rest of us. If what you say is true, then answer me this. What is the source of the poison? It. Ugh! I can't think of anything. Think.
Objection!
Tracy! Oh, wow. I understand why Daddy likes to say this so much. Anyway, my name is Tracy Wright, magician extraordinaire, and I object. Miss Wright, you have no respect for courtroom procedure. Nope. Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. Thank you. What was I supposed to do, Mr. Reaper? Let you all give up again? Young lady, you best have a good reason for interrupting proceedings. I do you honor. I'm going to give you all some advice that my daddy taught me. When a case seems hopeless, you turn things around. And sometimes that means literally. Think, do you have a piece of evidence that you could turn around right now? A piece of evidence? I think there's one thing. My lord, I would like to present something to the court. What have you now, counsel? This evidence would turn the case around. Paper scrap, present. That scrap of paper. Yes, if we turn it around, I'm sure everything will become clear. We already know what's on the other side of that piece of paper. I don't. It's only more writing. And there's nothing useful to be gleaned from it where we don't even have the rest of the paper. I know whose handwriting that is. What? You do? It's Maria Gori's handwriting. Did not one of you notice that? I only recognized it from proofreading her notes about ghosts. You all know her. Well, her handwriting is a little... It's completely unreadable. That does make it difficult to discern from other people's, yes. Well, she is a doctor, isn't that their famous thing? Counsel, are you quite sure of your assertion? I wouldn't have said it if I wasn't. My lord, I request that Dr. Maria Gori be called into the stand immediately. I believe she can shed some very important light on this case. Well, you're all in luck. Dr. Gori happens to be in the gallery at this very moment. Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Gori, is this letter in your handwriting? Yes, that's mine. It was a letter to Kazuma Songli along with a birthday present. An unfortunate present, I suppose. Wait. It was addressed to Asogi. But it's clearly addressed to Mr. Naruhodo. What are you talking about? Oh, that's odd. Well, that isn't written by me. Out of interest, what was the gift? Roast chicken. What? Mama always said that if you didn't know what to get someone, food was never a bad choice. But she was wrong in this instance. I had no idea he was allergic. Dr. Gori, you had roast chicken sent to 221 Baker Street on the night of the incident? Yes, that is what I said. Meaning, counsel? Then it's entirely possible. No, it's almost certain. The poisoned chicken came from outside of the house. Iris, why are you objecting? The chicken could have come from a delivery? We would have known. Susato would have told us, wouldn't he? The young lady makes a very good point. Surely if a delivery had arrived, you would all have noticed. Actually, the proof that it did is already in the court record, my lord. And then show us that evidence at once, counsel. Not the chicken. Okay, we know it's the torn letter now. That letter again. The fact that we have this piece of evidence at all is proof that the delivery arrived. There's no reason for it to even be at Baker Street if it wasn't. That's true, actually. At the very least, the delivery must have made it to Baker Street. But by the detective's testimony, which the streamer has not seen due to the incompetence of the streamer, all that came to the door that night was a salesman. Kazuma, you lied. That night, the doorbell rang. The defense claims that... Mr. Naruhodo, are you sure you want to be the one to say this? The defense claims that the victim lied about who was at the door that night. The defense also claims that the person at the door indeed delivered the poisoned chicken. But why would the victim lie? I don't know, my lord. Now, who's lying, Mr. Naruhodo? If I may, I think I know who the other handwriting belongs to. You do? Arthur J. Raffles. Arthur J. Raffles. What pun is that? Is that a pun of any sort? He's a surgeon. He helps me at the coroner's office sometimes. Raffles? Then I request that this Mr. Raffles be called to testify. If this is indeed his handwriting, he's undeniably connected. The prosecution concurs with the defense. Then I will call an hour's recess in order to subpoena this new witness. This court is adjourned. Narudi! Or Mr. Van Zeeks? I'm not sure. No, it's Ryunosuke this time. Thanks, Trucy. You helped a lot. I'm really worried about what all this means. Who poisoned the chicken? And how would they have gotten Susato to eat it? I think Mr. Raffles will be able to tell us something to that effect. If only Kazuma-sama was awake. Clint, can I call you that? I keep stumbling over what to call you. Yes, of course. Clint, sorry for taking over like that. Don't worry about it. I'm the one borrowing your body, not the other way around. I think Kazuma knows exactly what happened. I just don't know how he lied, or why. We'll figure it out together. I couldn't figure out half as much as you did. It's no wonder. I can feel how stressed you are, you know. You're a brilliant attorney, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. But you're also a witness. And far from impartial. Bluntly, you shouldn't be expected to keep it together. But I have to. I hate the waiting part. Me too. This court is now back in session for the trial of Susato Mikatoba. Lord Van Zeeks, have you hold of the witness? Yes, my lord. The prosecution calls Arthur J. Raffles to the stand immediately. Oh, hello! Hi, handsome. You're the murderer. Good morning, everybody. State your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Arthur J. Raffles. I'm a surgeon at St. Bartholomew's Hospital, though the coroner's office has need me from time to time. Mr. Raffles, are you aware of what brings you to this courtroom? Yes, though I don't feel it's very convincing. You have made an error, suspecting me of being involved in some young man's poisoning? Based solely on the word of a young lady. Am I correct? I already don't like him. No matter your opinion, Mr. Raffles, the court requires you to testify. Very well then. Frankly, I don't understand why I've been called to this courtroom. Ah. sir. Good sir. Good sir. There is absolutely nothing to connect with this case. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment I really must keep. That's all? Are you expecting me to say more? Stop it. I wasn't there. This is rather a waste of my time. Counsel for the defense, please proceed with your cross-examination. I just have to pull something out of him. Every witness says just a little too much. Huh? Miss Sykes? Ah! Sorry, I forgot that isn't my line. Oh, that's right. I remember making that suggestion. Oh, Athena. I was just curious as to what your appointment is, since you seem so desperate to get to it. Oh, that. I have an appointment at the optometrist. And eye doctor. Yes, this monocle is not simply a fashion statement. The vision in my left eye has grown worse as of late. I happened to break my monocle the other day. This is only an old spare that isn't strong enough. Huh? Really, sir? You broke your monocle? Well, more accurately, the glass came loose and I misplaced it. It is a custom-made prescription, so I can't easily replace it. But I can hardly see how this is relevant to the matter at hand. Indeed, this is not the venue for idle chatter. This is important, counsel. Is it? Oh, it's important! It's important! Actually, I'd like that piece of information to be added to your testimony, Mr. Raffles. If you wish, Sir Attorney. I misplaced the glass of my monocle the other day, so you can understand how important it is. Where is it? Where is it? Here! Objection! Mr. Raffles? Would this be the misplaced glass of your monocle? Where did you find that? I believe I'm the one asking the questions, Mr. Raffles. And I will not be fooled by such leading questions, Sir Attorney. Do you think you intimidate me? Ugh, this is so much harder to be imposing in your body, Mr. Naruhodo. How do you get anybody to listen to you? Honestly? I just sort of hope for the best. Well, to answer your question, this glass was found on the floor at 221B Baker Street. The detective, Mr. Sholmes, assumed it was a piece of one of his inventions, but it didn't fit anywhere. Now, if this little piece of glass would have perfectly fit in that monocle of yours, well, that would undeniably pin you to the scene. At the exact time of the incident, no less. The exact time? All who were in 221 Baker Street that night are astute observers. In fact, there have been several pieces of evidence already noted as not being present before the incident. I definitely would have noticed a weird piece of glass if it was there before dinner. I mean, somebody could have stepped on it. So, Mr. Raffles, I'm sure you wouldn't mind giving us your monocle to test the theory? As you're so readily told this court, it's custom made. So it should be quite obvious if the fit is perfect or not. Well, that was a very intelligent deduction, Sir Attorney. If only the glass wasn't cracked, I should like to fix my monocle now. I didn't even faze him. Alright, Mr. Raffles, let's see who cracks first. So you admit this belongs to you? Yes. Then you admit you were there? Indeed, that is the obvious conclusion. Oh my god, you sly motherfucker! And yet you were not a guest and nobody saw you. Therefore, I'm guilty of nothing more than breaking and entering. Okay, see. Cool, you committed a different crime. Which is not the crime at hand, is it? Okay, but you're at the fucking scene. What? I was attempting to hide my presence on the day of the crime, yes. I apologize for the time I have caused this court to waste. But it only proves me a thief. Objection! Actually, it proves you something much more important. It proves you a witness. Oh, that is a fair point, young lady. Very well, if you wish me to testify again, I will cooperate. Rest assured, you'll be prosecuted for your crimes in due time. Oh, I don't doubt that, Lord Prosecutor. But I'm afraid my testimony here won't be of much use. You sly bastard. I admit, I was in Baker Street on the day of the crime. However, it was my intention to go unnoticed. I am a thief, and I find a wonderful challenge in stealing from difficult or famous targets. When everyone stepped outside, I climbed the walls to the balcony and let myself in. Unfortunately, I was attacked and my monocle forced loose. Due to that fact, I was unable to steal any item before everyone returned and escaped through the balcony. Huh? Who attacked it? Wagahai? Was Wagahai the one? Is that a satisfying explanation, Sir Attorney? I truly do feel bad for the young man who was poisoned. But this has nothing to do with me. Let's not waste time here. We'll get the truth out of him. This has nothing to do with me. Despite the fact that he used his poisoning as a distraction? It was a twist of fate, Sir Attorney. Are you accusing me of causing it? I take offense to the notion I would have to turn to poison. How uncouth. Besides, when would I have the opportunity to put arsenic in the young man's meal? Got you. Add that to your testimony, Mr. Raffles. If you please. Sir?
Objection!
Let me ask a better question, Mr. Raffles. How is it that you know he was poisoned with arsenic? What do you mean? He was poisoned with arsenic. Yes, he was. However, we only discovered that during this trial. So how did you come by this information? Your silence is speaking volumes, Mr. Raffles. You don't have a way to back out of this one. Aren't you supposed to be the prosecution? Should you not be helping me? Hell yeah! We don't owe lying witnesses any help. We are here for the truth, not to defend your drivel, Mr. Raffles. Seeing a witness finally crack. There's nothing more satisfying. Mr. Raffles! Explain to the court how you knew of the arsenic. Or shall I indict you now? You okay, sir? Okay, so you didn't just get shot. You're fine. You're fine. Who handed him that? Fine. You want me to talk, so Tony? I'll talk. What the fuck is that? I know of the arsenic because I delivered it. Huh? Witness, testify at once. Gladly, my lord. There was indeed roast chicken delivered to Baker Street that day. I was the one who delivered it. I wasn't supposed to know every detail. I was simply going to use the opportunity for a theft. But a black stain is rather conspicuous of arsenic, is it not? Besides, it is clearly addressed to you at the bench there, Sir Attorney. Why are you accusing me and not that coroner? This isn't where I expected his lie to go. But it's a lie nonetheless. Alright. Was it supposed to know every detail? Was it press that statement? So you're a surgeon and a thief and a delivery man. Can a man not have multiple jobs, Sir Attorney? I've been many things. An inventor, a salesman, an engineer. Continue with your testimony, if you please. Do not get snippy with me, Lord Prosecutor. But fine, if you wish. Okay, there was indeed roast chicken delivered to the street today. I was the one who delivered it. I was supposed to do every detail. Okay. Is this where I present the letter? Okay. Hello again, Ryunosuke, not Clint. You're being hasty and careless with your words now, Mr. Raffles. This letter wasn't addressed to me. Taking the word of Dr. Gory again, are you? Actually, not at all. It doesn't take a genius to flip over some paper and actually read the letter. Might I ask you to read it out loud to the court, Mr. Raffles? Mr. Nahodo, let me deal with this. You're getting angry. Go on. If you're telling the truth, you should have no issue. Right? You're expecting me to read this? I can read Russian, Japanese, Greek. And this of all of them is most unintelligible. Oh, fuck you too. Fine. If you're going to be so difficult, I'll read it. There are several sections of the letter in which the meaning is clear despite the tearing. For example, never know what to write in a birthday card. In a birthday card is the most damning. What do you have to say to that? And the music's back, everyone. What does it matter? I delivered. I saw it had arsenic. Is that not proof enough? I actually find it difficult to believe he delivered it as if he didn't know such a detail. However, it would make sense if... Mr. Raffles, the defense claims you stole the delivery in order to deliver it yourself. Huh! What sort of proof do you have of that? Would there not have been a delivery man? What do you suppose I did with him? The traces you left are already in the court record. I'm sure the defense can easily point out the evidence in the question. Chicken, photograph of cracks. Present. There's several pieces of evidence where we haven't been able to fit in yet. But I think this is finally making sense. Please look at this photograph. Some cracks in a wall. Specifically, cracks in the wall of the building of 221B Baker Street that only appeared after the incident. Now, if you had stolen the delivery, you would obviously have to get rid of the delivery man. And how else would you do that other than attacking him? You knocked him out by slamming his head into the wall and stole the delivery. Then he wrote Ryunosuke Naohodo on the front. But why would he have done that? That's simple. Kazuma Sogi was not the intended victim. Mr. Raffles was trying to kill me. And that's why Kazuma took it instead. Ugh. No, you couldn't have. Kazuma Sogi would not have missed a telltale arsenic stain. And seeing my name alongside poisoned food would have led him to the only conclusion there is. Tell me, Mr. Raffles, did Mr. Sogi take the chicken from you? Well, yes he did, but how does that matter? Mr. Sogi took the chicken, and then minutes later, he had to be rushed to hospital. Surely you could see the connection there. Counsel, are you suggesting that he did this to himself? So we were right. We were right. He did do this to himself. I knew it. Everyone was saying, did he do this to himself? Like self-infliction to harm himself or intending to die? I think I was one of the only people. I didn't mention this actually on the blog, but I did think to myself, well, there are other reasons why he would actually do that. It's Kazuma. He would do that to protect someone, and he fucking did. He did. I did. He did. I fucking knew it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You okay, Ryunosuke? Yes. Kazuma Sogi poisoned himself. And what do you think you're laughing at? Oh, Sir Attorney, you delight and amuse me. Tell me, if all you say is true, I stole a delivery, I poisoned it, I wanted you dead, all of that? Well, Kazuma Sogi poisoned himself in the end. So what exactly am I guilty of? Oh, don't be obtuse. Attempted murder, of course. Unfortunately, you're incorrect, my learned friend. You may have spun an intelligent theory, but it is not the most concrete. You have no real evidence that Mr. Raffles poisoned anything. Only an assumption based on an assumption. And you're missing one important detail in regards to attempted murder. Motive. Exactly what reason would I have to kill you, Sir Attorney? There isn't always a motive to someone killing another. That's the one thing I always found kind of weird. Because there isn't, like in the real life, there isn't actually always a motive to murder. And I don't think I need to explain that Miss Mikatoba being guilty is a way more simple explanation. Sadly, Counsel, I would be inclined to agree. Ugh! Perhaps I can't prove he was the one who poisoned it. But I can prove something else. I can prove he framed Miss Mikatoba. You're right, Mr. Raffles. I can't prove motive on your part, or that you poisoned the chicken. Exactly, so I can still prove something more important. I can prove Miss Mikatoba was framed and that you're the only one who could have done it. I love Clint's theme, man. It's so good. Oh, ow. I cold in the cheek. What? The crime scene was tampered with. Here's the evidence to prove it. It said any photograph of... This photograph was taken minutes before the incident, and this other photograph was taken minutes after. Tell me, do you notice anything odd between them? Get to the point! In the first photograph, Kazuma Sogi, and presumably his plate, is in the middle, at the far end of the table. In the second, however, his plate appears to be the second to the left, as it has the poisoned chicken. Take note also of the time. The second photograph is dated only 20 minutes after the first. Accounting for the timeline the detective established. That's 5 minutes for the meal, 5 minutes in which Mr. Asogi left, 5 minutes for the ambulance to arrive. Oh, Asogi would have been fucking dead. And 5 minutes in which the only person inside 221 Baker Street was you, Mr. Raffles. Don't be ridiculous. You were the only person with that time and opportunity to rearrange the scene this way. Objection! But why would he do that? All he gave him just moving a plate around. Actually, wasn't anything to do with that. The purpose was to make it look as though there had been chicken on Mr. Sogi's plate all along. But he made a crucial mistake. He mixed up the plates. Why? All because of this evidence. The armband. Take that. I believe you mentioned something just a moment ago. I can read Russian, Japanese, Greek. But being able to read Japanese. What is your point? If you didn't know any better, you'd assume my armband belonged to Kazuma Asogi. because that's the name written on the label, in Japanese. Your armband. Now, of course, if you were to see this armband beside the plate, would you not mistake the owner of the plate and the owner of the armband to be the same person? Everyone else who was in the flat that day would have known better than to make such a mistake. Everyone except for you. You asked earlier what could possibly be your motive for attempting to take the life of Mr. Naruhodo. While I have no answer for that, I can answer as to why you seek to frame his assistant. You were seen. Mr. Asogi saw you try to deliver clearly poisoned food. That's a reliable witness testimony of an attempt to murder Mr. Naruhodo. You must have watched and waited, knowing you would be caught because of Mr. Asogi. And you surely realized what Mr. Asogi had done when he began to have an allergy attack. Speculation! This is all blind speculation!
Silence!
I'm not finished. You formed a plan to misdirect everything. If it looked as though Mr. Mikatoba had poisoned him, your very presence that day could have been brushed aside. If Mr. Asogi died, there was nobody there who could identify you. So you stole in while everyone was outside and placed a chicken on what you believed was Mr. Asogi's plate. But you were attacked and did not get away unscathed, leaving you a monocle at Baker Street. End of the letter. You'll think a great thief would not be careless enough to abandon it at the scene. But you're no great thief at all. You're just a murderer. And a sloppy one at that. Sloppy? How dare you? I'm a thief. The greatest thief who have ever lived. No, you didn't plan at all. Even the attempted murder was a crime of opportunity. Face it, Mr. Raffles. You're just another murderer. You. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ryunosuke Naruhodo! God, Dylan, you never deserved this. I think it's time you explain. Why did you try to kill me, Mr. Raffles? Manders. Excuse me? Young lady, you said I was no great thief. You're right. My real name is Harry Manders. Okay, I do feel a pun in there, but I don't know what. Bunny is what most called me. What he called me. The real Raffles was a great thief, the greatest thief I've ever known. He was a school friend of mine. I idolized him in those days. Years later, when I turned to him in an hour of need, I learned of his crimes. And yet my opinion of him never wavered. He saved me from ruin, and we became companions once more. I would have sacrificed anything for him, but he is the one who sacrificed for me. I was careless. A man died, and I was to blame. We were only wanted for testimony, but Raffles told me he would assume my identity to protect me. Ultimately, under my name, he was blamed for the crime. And you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, were the one to indict him. I believe I remember that. I defended a lord's daughter for her father's murder and theft of several jewels. Harry Manders was convicted for both and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Well, not as the case seems to be. I was painted as a coerced and unwilling accomplice. I got off scot-free. How? What the fuck? I was so angry. I hated you. I wanted you dead for taking him away from me. I feel like this is supposed to be a parallel to Kazuma. I followed you, tried to find the perfect moment to strike. And I thought myself so lucky when that chicken was delivered to Baker Street. I carried several things of convenience, one of them being arsenic. I assaulted that delivery man, poisoned the chicken, and tore up that letter to write your name on it. But someone else answered the door. Kazuma. Hi. You aren't who I was expecting. Can I help you? Oh, did he think it was Barrack? Oh. I know of him, of course. He was the opposing counsel of that trial. Oh. And he knew me. Knew the trouble I'd cause. He took the chicken, and in the end, I was consumed with anger at my new failure. So I decided the only way to get what I wanted was to be direct. Everything else happened as you said. I assumed he had ingested the poison and rearranged the scene as such. I was attacked by the cat. Okay, so it was Wagga High. The letter I had carelessly stuffed in my pocket fell as I escaped. Had Kazuma's stocking not been so allergic, I would have broken in and you would have been the one to die. But when I saw what had happened to him, I created a better plan. I wanted you to suffer. I wanted you to understand the pain of losing your partner and living on. He kind of already has. Losing your assistant would rub salt in the wound. It was perfect. I already know that pain, Mr. Manders. You do. I lost Kazuma once already, but there's a difference between me and you. Kazuma was dead. As far as we knew, he was never coming back. AJ Raffles is alive. You can wait for him to be released from prison. You can visit him. I didn't get that comfort. You don't get to speak to me about loss. I am painfully familiar with it, Mr. Manders. But I don't think Kazuma would want me to get revenge. Do you think your partner would? No. He's honorable. More honorable than I ever will be. Kazuma parallel. This trial has taken several terms that I did not expect. That seems to be the usual for you, Mr. Naruhodo. However, assuming there are no further objections. None from the defense, my lord. Oh, Athena! Not for the prosecution. Then I am prepared to make my ruling. Oh, Susato. Miss Mikatoba, you seem rather unhappy. Yeah, her brother poisoned himself. There was simply a melancholy end to it all. But, thank you, everyone. It's comforting to finally see her smile, isn't it? Yes, it is. To finally bring this sordid affair to an end, Miss Susato Mikatoba, I hereby pronounce you Mr. Naruhodo. Well done, Papa! And Bruno too! Yes, you both performed brilliantly in there. You were so confident. You made it look so easy. Watching you from the prosecutor's bench was really something else. Oh. It was a pleasure to watch you at work, as always. But you seem a little morose. Sorry, that's me. I don't feel too much like celebrating. Oh! Oh, thank you, Clint. I'm so glad I get to move my own limbs again. Oh, that was so weird. Trust me, it was even stranger for me. Mr. Naruhodo, are you alright? No, I just can't believe that Kazuma really did that, and that we were right. He could have died. Yes, he could have. I know we're both thinking the same thing. As soon as we heard what Kazuma had... Clint Van Zeeks! The detective! I thought something was odd about Mr. Naruhodo today. I've always wondered what it would be like to watch you unravel a mystery in court. I simply did what I could. Kazuma had... quite the horrible birthday, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Oh... It reminds me, none of us got to give him birthday gifts. What were you going to give him? Oh, I was going to give him tickets to a concert. I made him some patches of his family crest so that he could put it on his new outfits. A calligraphy set. I bought him some novels I thought he would enjoy. And Mr. Naruhodo, you've been rather secretive about your gift. It's just stupid. Oh, tell us! It's this. The armband. Well, you know how my armband was Kazuma's originally? It has his name on it. If you look on the inside, there's a label just like my one. Unfortunately... Oh, Clint. Unfortunately, I cannot read kanji. Naruhodo Ryunosuke. That's what it translates as. I think it's a wonderfully sweet Oh, that they have each other's armbands? Is that the present? Oh my god, that's so sweet. Thank you. Perhaps we should pay him a visit now that this is all over. I really need to talk to him anyway. Yeah, he's, yeah, some stuff's been happening in his mind. Let's just say that. I should be going then. Tell him I hope he's alright. Will you, Mr. Naruhodo? You don't want to come with us? I think Kazuma will want to see you. I'll speak with him when he's fully recovered. Right now, I'd just like to go home. Clint, I won't disappear, I promise. Balmug and I will see you when you return. Good. Kazuma. Oh! Mr. Munders! Stay your head, Miss Mikatoba. I'm not here for anything nefarious. I wish to apologize. I've caused the both of you terrible trouble and pain. Or for some revenge plot cooked up by my own anger. That is to say, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Munders. I hope you understand that we cannot forgive you. No, I don't expect you to. I suppose I mostly wish to apologize for my own peace of mind. Mr. Munders, I can't help but notice how often you look at that watch. Is there something special about it? Would you like to see? Is this? Yes, it's a photograph of Raffles. I keep drawing my thumb out across it, so it's rather faded his face from it. But he was laughing in that photo. Could never take a thing seriously, that man. You miss him quite a lot, don't you? Every day. I hope you can be reunited with your partner one day. So do I. But I won't keep you from reuniting with yours. Farewell, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Saint Sinners. Oh, hello everyone. Hi, Kazuma. How's your brain going? Oh, Kazuma-sama. How are you? Oh, this song. Better. I'm supposed to stay one more night, and then I'll be free to go. Zumi! Oh, Mr. Asagi! Huh? Are you two? We'll explain later, but I promise we're really here. I still can't believe I get to meet you all. You get used to those two very quickly, I promise. Well, it's nice to meet you finally, Miss Wright. Miss Sykes? You too! I already said this to Naruti. We're family. Trucy's fine. Aww. I apologize, Trucy. It's really good to see you awake, Suzu. I was worried about you. I do admit I was concerned for you too. Oh, that's right, they haven't made up yet. Oh, you emotionally constipated assholes. Soggy, I'm sorry. Don't apologize to me! If you should apologize to anyone, it is Clint. But I should be the one apologizing to you. I was not angry with you. I am not now. You did not deserve the harshness of my reaction. Didn't I? Asogi, don't be ridiculous. None of this is your fault. I never noticed that Barrack's sprite like looks down on us because we're like usually playing as a much shorter character. That's funny. You made a mistake. As if that's such a sin. Soggy, just let me hug you. Oh. Oh, hugging him again. Hugs. Kazuma likes to hug Barrack, I've seen. I didn't think he would forgive me. Why wouldn't I forgive you? There are plenty of things we haven't forgiven each other for. And can you not accept that this isn't one of them? I imagine that Kazuma's still hugging Barrack and Barrack's kind of not hugging back, but just letting him do it. Alright. I accept. Oh, good. The tension was starting to hurt. Athena! Don't ruin a sweet moment. I hope this isn't too much for you, Kazuma-sama. No, I appreciate the company. And I appreciate the audience. I want to put on a show for you, Zubi. Consider it as a late birthday present. Oh, I'd be so excited to see a Magic Show CC. If you could do it without the doctor shooing you out for disturbing patients, I'd love to see it. Is everyone ready? You should go home, Ryu. I don't want to. I'm worried about you, Kazuma. Why? I'm fine. I'm only here for one more night. You know that's not what I meant. Really? I'm okay. What exactly did you do that night? None of us have heard your side of the story. I knew who he was as soon as I opened the door. He knew me. I knew he had some reason for being there. I thought it might be arsenic. The platter it was delivered on was already stained black. I couldn't help thinking, he didn't kill you that way. Would he get desperate? I couldn't risk it. I needed to cause a problem that would keep him away for the time being. Did you even consider just telling me what happened? You could have died, Kazuma. You could have died for a distraction. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so harsh. I know it's hard to think in a situation like that. No, you're right. I didn't think. That's my problem. I never do. Now you're being harsher than I am. Sorry. You don't have to apologize. I'm just worried about how much this has hurt you. You don't need to be worried. And they're back. I promise. I think we should both get some sleep.